Hi all of you, welcome to the question discussions of Kerala PSC. So as I've told you, we'll be discussing the recent Kerala PSC questions. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to first give you the question, what exactly was asked in the question. And then I'll be explaining the answer. And then whatever related will be explained to you. Now, yes, as you are aware, all these questions are there on the app with explanations and everything. So I hope all of you have gone through the question and yes, even gone through the answers. Now, just to make it more clear and a little bit of extra discussions, I'm going to give more details here. Okay, so the first topic I'm going to discuss is on modulus of elasticity. Don't worry, I'm going to explain this to you. Now, one more thing I just want to add here is there is a detailed chapter-wise lectures on the app. Okay, for each and every subject, each and every chapter, detailed, very systematic way. If anyone is interested, you can go into that for more details. Okay, so modulus of elasticity is one among the various properties of dental materials. Okay, and my purpose here is to give you a quick review of the questions being asked. Okay, in a chapter wise and or I would say continuous subject wise order. Okay, so now basically the question was the modulus of elasticity of carbon fiber post is equal to which of the following structures? Okay, of carbon fiber post, post and core carbon fiber post is there, steel post is there. Okay, now it is equal to which of the following structures was the question, and they gave enamel, dentine, different options. The answer is dentine. Now if you want to know the exact question, please refer back to the app. Okay, so it is equal to dentine. Okay, it's equal to the modulus of elasticity of carbon fiber post is equal to that of dentine. Okay, now what is the value? Okay, which is 20 GPa. Okay, which is 20 gigapascals to be approximately. So that was one of the options in another question. Different numbers were given, 20 GPa, 30 GPa, 40 GPa, like that. So the best answer was 20 GPa. Now, to be very precise, it is 17 GPa. Now, I want you to know a little bit more details on what exactly is modulus of elasticity. Now, this is basically, the name says elasticity. Okay, now I'll explain this. It's a measure of rigidity, how rigid a material, a dental material is. Okay, or how stiff. Okay, it's a measure of rigidity or stiffness of a dental material. Okay, now again, it can also be said as a ratio of stress divided by strain. Okay, within, now this is very important, within proportional limit. Okay, now basically you have a graph here. Okay, you have a stress on the y-axis. Now this is detailed explained in the lectures, but I'll just give you an overview. Now you have strain on the x-axis, and the ratio is measured as a straight line. Okay, straight line. Now at a particular point, which is known as proportional limit, I'll come to that. Okay, what is proportional limit and all. At a particular point, which is a proportional limit, what happens is the elasticity of the material is lost at this particular point, after which it starts deforming. Okay, it starts deforming. Okay, it will not come back to its original structure. Okay, that is, the material in this particular region behaves like it's a plastic, and in this particular region it behaves, it's an elastic. So now you know modulus of elasticity. Okay, modulus of elasticity. Okay, I'll come to more about proportional limit and all when I'll be discussing the proportional limit. Basically, so it's a ratio of stress by strain. Okay, so this particular area, this particular slope is what is the modulus of elasticity or elastic modulus. Okay, so that's about your basic details on your proportional limit. As I've told you, I'll be coming to that very soon. Okay, now a little bit more I want you to understand. That is, it's measured by, already said, it's measured by the slope of elastic region. So this is the elastic region. Okay, the slope of elastic region, after which this is the plastic region. Okay, so it's a slope of elastic region of stress strain graph. Very simple now. Okay, now Here, you have to note something related. Okay, that is modulus of elasticity is a constant. Okay, it doesn't change. It is a constant for a particular material. Okay, if you take a particular material like your impression compound, any impression compound to take, it's a constant. It doesn't change with thickness of the material. Okay, whatever be the thickness of a particular material, whether it's wax or impression or whatever, it's a constant. Now, why I'm saying this is, you have to note that the stiffness increases with increasing of thickness. Very important. So I told you the basically modulus of elasticity is a measure. It's not exactly the same of rigidity or stiffness. Okay, it is a measure of rigidity and stiffness. The difference is modulus of elasticity is a constant, whereas stiffness increases with increase in the thickness of a material. Okay, now one more point. Modulus of elasticity of enamel is 3 times that of modulus of elasticity of dentine. Okay, this is an MCQ which you should be knowing. Again, when we said equal to modulus of elasticity of dentine, which is the same as modulus of elasticity of the question which was carbon fiber post, which is equal to 20 GPa or 17 GPa. Now, another point. So basically, what was modulus of elasticity? It's the resistance to elastic deformation. Okay, it's that particular resistance to elastic deformation. Till here, elastic deformation happens. Beyond this, it is plastically deformed. So this region is where the resistance to elastic deformation happens, and that is called the, okay, more explanation is there. What is this region? What is this region and all, which is there in the detailed graph, but what we're talking about is a slope. Okay, I just mentioned it because I was using a thicker pen, so don't think that. Okay, now yes, resistance to elastic deformation is what we said, it is the stiffness. Now just a related term, resistance to fracture is known as toughness. So two very important points: resistance to elastic deformation is stiffness, resistance to fracture is called the toughness of a material. More details, I have explained it in the detailed lecture. Okay, now some values, at least some very basic, or at least you should know the order. Okay, cobalt chromium alloy, I'll tell you how to remember the order of this material. Values, if it's good, you can by heart it, that's nice. Otherwise, okay, fine, at least you remember some values which you can. Okay, now cobalt chromium alloy has got one of the highest stiffness or highest modulus of elasticity, just stiffest of the material. Okay, and now you know why it's being used for many purposes like crowns and bridges and all. It's a stiffness, so its value is 218 to 224. Next comes a type 4 gold alloy. Okay, which is 90 to 95. So see how the difference comes. Now enamel, okay, one of the very stiff materials you have, 84. Then you got porcelain, not dentine, okay, porcelain, which is ceramic, okay, which is 70. Then amalgam, okay, now you know the order, right? Amalgam is less stiff than porcelain and even less stiffer than enamel. Okay, now 28 to 59, okay, 28 to 59, again a ratio is being given there. Composites, okay, now you know, it's 70 to 21, means to say it is more stiffer than your dentine, but lesser than enamel. So dentine comes next, okay, which is equal to carbon fiber post, we were saying. So it's 17. So composites has got a slightly higher limit. At the other side, dentine has got. Okay, now I'll tell you, if you have a closer modulus of elasticity, why it is good, I'm going to tell you that. Now you have got the resins, okay, PMMA, polymethyl methacrylate resins, okay, which has got 2 points, are very, very low. Okay, your dentures and all. Silicon, okay, your, your prosthetic materials which uses silicon and all, very low, 0.002. How to remember this? Okay, I have made a short form when I was learning. It's cos, see this, cos, okay, because or cos, okay, of gold. Okay, cos is cobalt chromium, gold is gold alloy. Okay, every is enamel. Okay, cos of gold, every person, acts close. Okay, close is composite and carbon fiber. So, okay, so if you have gold with you, every people will be very close to you, especially in today's world, because gold is so costly. Okay, so remember C has got 2, that is composite and carbon fiber, the same as that of dentine. Okay, at least you know the order. Okay, so that at least you can differentiate, you know, if someone asks you which has got highest modulus of elasticity and all. If you can remember the values, it's very good. At least for dentine and enamel, common restorative materials like amalgam, composite, it's good to remember them. Okay, now, so yes, for Kerala PAC, not very important, but NEET MDS, yeah, it's better to know it. Okay, so now, as we saw, dentine and carbon fiber post has got a same modulus of elasticity. What does it mean? Or what if a closer modulus of elasticity, closer stiffness a substance has got? It gives a monoblock effect. Now, it's very much related to your endodontics also having that, you know, your gutta perch and monoblock effect, the obturating materials, that's a different thing. But yeah, it acts as single block. That is, there's an equal stress distribution, okay, when it acts as single block. Okay, so stress distribution is even, so low risk of root fracture. You know that when we're using the post, okay, you have a root there, okay, inside that you put a post, and on the sides of it you have got the dentine and your cementum. So if these two, the pink and green, has got same modulus of elasticity or more same stiffness, if some kind of, you know, pressure comes from top, both of them is equally stiff, so what happens is the stress distribution is same. What if it's huge difference? Okay, I'm going to tell you another material which is your metallic post, which has got a huge difference. What happens? The stress distribution is uneven, so the flexing of root happens and root can fracture. Okay, so here the best part is it has got a very closer modulus of elasticity, which is going to help you in your low risk of fracture. Now remember, the metallic post has got a very high, that is 100 to 200. So let's see the difference. One is your 17 or 20. This is 100 to 200. How to remember it easily is, I would say, one is 20 and the other is 200. Okay, at least. Okay, so yes, that's it. Okay, now coming to the proportional limit, as I've told you, something related to the topic being discussing, that is the elastic modulus or modulus of elasticity. Basically, first you understand the definition, I'll then explain to you. Basically, it's a magnitude, no? It's a value. Magnitude of elastic stress. Now again, talking about your stress, talking about your elastic stress, talking about, okay, so we said it's now related, elastic stress, above which, now it's above which, it's not in that region, it's above, okay, it's above which the plastic deformation occurs. Now something coming to your mind if you have understood modulus of elasticity. If it is not coming, I'll explain to you very soon. Okay, or another definition, I'll explain each definition with diagram. It's a greatest stress produced in a material that, or so that, the stress is directly proportional to strain. Now it's a greatest, the value is greatest, or the mag above. Okay, these are the two very important points, and this is the plastic. Okay, so these are three very important points. I'll come to this, okay, very soon. Or another definition, all these are asked in the exams, various exams, not PSC. So it's a maximum stress, again it's a maximum, the keyword is maximum, that can be induced without, okay, permanent deformation, okay, without permanent deformation. So all these comes to or talks about, okay, now before that, it's the same as yield strength. So means to say that your proportional limit and yield strength are related, okay, beyond which the material, that is same as saying that yield strength beyond which it functions as a plastic manner. I told you. Okay, now let's come understand the definitions. So magnitude of elastic stress above which plastic deformation occurs. So this is the point of a proportional limit, above which, okay, I'll use another color. This is a point above which plastic deformation occurs. So this is the maximum stress which can be induced in the material, okay, so that beyond which it acts as a plastic manner. Okay, so this is again greatest stress induced, okay, or produced in a material, greatest stress that can, so that the stress is directly proportional to the strain. So what does the greatest stress means? Okay, here the greatest stress will be again to this particular point. This is a stress graph. So this is the greatest stress produced, okay, in a materials beyond which the stress, or to which stress is directly proportional to strain. So till here, okay, till this particular point, okay, I'll just rub this. Means to say that till this particular point, the stress is directly proportional to strain. How do you understand that? Because the graph is straight line. Above this point, the stress is not proportional. Okay, it is deforming or it is not proportional. Okay, or beyond which it functions as a plastic manner. Okay, or the maximum stress that can be induced without permanent deformation. Now, the maximum stress without permanent deformation. There is no permanent deformation here. There is permanent deformation here. Okay, understood. So this is basically your proportional limit. I hope it's clear. Okay, it's just a point. Okay, that's the difference. The elastic modulus or modulus of elasticity was a line. Okay, it's a line. Whereas that is where the stress is directly proportional to strain. Whereas there's a particular point beyond which that plastic deformation occurs, before which elastic deformation, or I would say that it behaves like an elastic manner. Till then is what you have your elastic modulus or modulus of elasticity. So that's about your proportional limit.